Story time. So, I don't know for certain if my dad knows what I do, but I have a feeling because one time I made the mistake of, when I was on the phone with my dad, because I talk to him all the time, saying something like, oh, I'm driving down to LA. And he goes, oh, wow, hey, be really careful. They were doing stings down there. It was all over the news. And I'm like, wait, what, why would I care about stings? I don't have anything to do with that. That's weird. Why would you say that? I have nothing to do with that. That's, I drive for Uber, Dad. I just made it so ridiculously obvious. It was almost like I'm insulting his intelligence, right? But there is no fucking way I will ever admit that I do this to my dad, okay? Like, it's not gonna happen. But I do have a feeling he knows. We just don't talk about it, okay? We don't talk about it. He gave me like a hint that he knows with that little comment, I believe, but we don't talk about it. My mom knew. My mom knew. In fact, there was just a couple times, not my proudest moment, where I showed up to her house, her little Section 8 house in the west side of Modesto, and I didn't have money for a hotel, and I basically gave her like the only $20 that I had, and was like, take my kids to the park and hang out there for about 35, 40 minutes. That way I can have time to clean up. And she goes, okay. All right, I'll do that, right? So she was like, cool, $20, right? It's that she was on Social Security, so that was like, sweet, I'm gonna go get some fucking snacks. She walked over to the store with the kids, and I busted a date right there in her house, in one of the bedrooms. And I'm gonna be honest, the nastiest hotel would probably have been better than her house, because even though I still love my mom, even if she's not here, right? I still love her, but she was not exactly like the best housekeeper. Her house was pretty fucking dirty, and it was like the whole house was like tile, and there was like dust everywhere, and you just felt, beds on the floor, no bed frame, and I just remember like wanting to take a shower so bad, and just being almost embarrassed that I had somebody come there. They didn't care. I mean, they didn't give a shit. But I had enough money after that to get a hotel, right? A nice hotel. I ended up giving my mom like $80 out of that. Like, thank you. Just, oh my God. And I remember her telling me, like, how do I get into this? What do I got to do? And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. But thank you. And I mean, I always gave her money. I mean, I paid her rent there, but it was because her rent was like crazy cheap. She had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Modesto. I mean, this was quite a few years back. She's been passed away for some time now. And she paid, I think her rent was like $375. Yeah, I think it was like $375 or $400. And then of course she was on Social Security, so I would buy her groceries, pay her rent, and yeah, and there was a few times I fucking made some use out of that place. Like, okay, let's get it together. You know what I should have done? I should have fucking hired a housekeeper for her. That's what I should have done. Just made that the trap spot. Like, give me that room in the back, and this is the new spot, right? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, like she wasn't that fucking cool with it. She was cool with it. She wasn't that cool with it. She also had a big fucking mouth, and I had to deny a couple of times her telling people that I did that. And I was like, no, I don't. Like, why are you telling the lady, the fucking cashier at Walgreens while I'm standing? I would literally be standing next to her, and she'd be like, well, yeah, my daughter's an escort. And I'm like, the lady at Walgreens didn't need to know that. And then I couldn't go to that fucking Walgreens anymore because I was so embarrassed. Because it's like, I'm not embarrassed about what I do, but it's like, it's so random. That lady just asked was. It was like, oh, my daughter gave me some money because she was turning tricks out of my room. And I'm like, woman. But yes, that's my parents knew, no, you know, we just don't talk about it. We just don't talk about it. And I would say, look, it's not that I'm ashamed about what I do, but there is stigma in society, and until the stigma is lifted, I'd rather not field questions every other day, because everybody's like, oh, they just have so many questions, and I don't want to be the fucking Ask Jeeves girl, right, about prostitution. I'll do it when I want to do it, like for videos or content, but I don't want to be like the go-to person. Honestly, there's so many other girls that have been in this industry longer that have so many better stories, so many crazier stories, so many things that they've been through, right? And I'm just like at the tip of the iceberg, you know. I'm like in escort years, I'm like a teenager, you know. I've been in this, what, 13 years, like 13 years, 14 years now. Damn, fuck, I'm old, right? So in my whole career, right, I haven't put in nearly as many hours and days as a lot of these other ladies, especially with all the breaks that I've taken. So yeah, I'd rather not do that. The rest of my family, some know, some don't. But I love them. At the end of the day, I love my family.